check until the appellate court has stated what I'm sending a check for. It's called having the bread to fight. That's who I'm sending my check to.
Given that Tasha K still hasn't paid the $4 million she owes, it appears Cardi B is serious about getting her locked up.
I'm gonna sue you for defamation of character, because it's like, you know what, I let the play and talk shit about me, but when you talk shit about my daughter...
Tasha attempted to file for bankruptcy a few weeks ago, but Cardi is now requesting that the court ensure that the $4 million that Tasha owes her is not paid. This implies that Tasha may still be required to pay the whole amount. Some claim that Cardi's true intention is for Tasha to go to jail. There is obviously much more going on behind the scenes, and the entire scenario is becoming chaotic.
K and Cardi B is far from over. Now Cardi B is suing Tasha K, demanding the nearly $4 million that Tasha owes her not be wiped clean in her Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Tasha K appears to have gone too far and is currently suffering the consequences. Cardi B won't put up with this. To be honest, nobody's shocked. Everyone recalls the days when Tasha was always disparaging Cardi, sharing videos, and making outrageous assertions without supporting evidence. She doubled on and continued to create drama rather than taking a step back or making any corrections. Tasha attempted to avoid the consequences when the heat finally got to her by declaring bankruptcy in the hopes that the $4 million judgment would vanish, but Cardi would not have it. She immediately returned to court and requested that the judge prevent Tasha from using bankruptcy as a means of evading paying her debts. Rather than starting over, Tasha is now under much more strain, and things are just getting worse for her. The fact that Tasha made this whole situation by herself is what makes it even more stunning. She wasn't coerced into taking pictures of herself and disseminating rumors about Cardi. Disliking a celebrity or disagreeing with their actions is normal, but Tasha went too far by spreading false information that hurt Cardi's reputation both emotionally and professionally. Cardi even offered Tasha multiple opportunities to remove the videos and provide an apology, but she consistently declined. Despite the lack of proof, she persisted in asserting the veracity of her assertions. Cardi eventually lost it and filed a defamation lawsuit against her. The jury soon discovered the stories were false, thus the trial was short. The judge ordered Tasha to pay millions of dollars in damages. After Cardi won, nearly a year later, Tasha still hasn't made a single payment and continues to make jokes online about how broke she is. But people keep saying the same thing. She shouldn't have caused the drama in the first place if she had known she didn't have the money.
At this moment, I think it's $4 million you have to pay a celebrity. A lot of conversation has been, do you even have that amount of money?
Look, I'm on the edge of my seat. Don't ask me for no money, I ain't got it. But listen.
She went so far as to say that she wouldn't give Cardi any money until her appeal was completed and the judge gave her explicit instructions to begin making payments. It's obvious that Cardi B had had enough of Tasha K's rudeness and had reached a breaking point. Tasha pretended for months that she could say anything she wanted about Cardi without worrying about the repercussions. She persisted in prodding and shoving, viewing the situation as a game. Cardi first tried to ignore the matter, despite the fact that it was negatively affecting her reputation, business, and personal life, but eventually she had had enough. Cardi decided that she would not put up with Tasha's persistent online charges. When she issued a warning that she was no longer playing and that she intended to pursue everyone who owed her money, she made that very evident. She was expressing that the disrespect had reached its limit and that she was not going to back down. Tasha attempted to appeal the decision following the initial case in the hopes that the court would rule in her favor this time. However, the appeal was denied and the ruling remained unchanged. She was still required to reimburse Cardi for the millions in damages. At that point, reality began to set in. She even apologized on Twitter, stating that she wanted to move on without making the same mistakes again and acknowledging that the appeal had not been successful. However, by the time the apology was released, it had little significance. Because the incident had progressed well beyond a simple apology, Cardi was completely unmoved. This was not a minor argument between two individuals. The true harm came from years of lies, insults, and assaults. Furthermore, Tasha continued to make jokes and remarks online even after officially apologizing, giving the impression that she had no real regrets. For instance, she claimed in a purported joke that she had already paid the $4 million judgment in cash. She attempted to explain it away as an April Fool's joke, but Cardi remained silent. Cardi chose to remain mute and let the judicial system speak for her rather than engage in another online back and forth. At that point, Tasha's situation began to take a very dangerous turn. Cardi was able to obtain the money she was due through Tasha's property and other assets when a writ of execution was filed. This meant that anything that was legally related to Tasha could be used to settle the debt up to the judgment's value. Anything with a quantifiable worth, including her house, belongings, and bank accounts. It didn't even finish there. Cardi also initiated action to garnish Tasha's wages in late 2022, which meant that money would be deducted automatically from her earnings. Tasha filed legal filings in an attempt to stop the garnishment, arguing that the court should halt all proceedings until her appeal was heard. But that protection vanished when the appeal failed, and Cardi proceeded to pursue her rightful compensation. Tasha filed for bankruptcy, stating she was unable to pay the bill as a result of all this stress. However, this didn't slow Cardi down. Rather, it increased her effort. Cardi filed a request requiring Tasha to present all her financial documentation because she thought Tasha was attempting to conceal her money. Bank statements, payment history, wire transfers, Cash App activities, PayPal receipts, and all revenue streams from all platforms. Cardi needed to know who Tasha had been paying, where her money had been going, and if she was transferring money to avoid having to pay the judgment. She even requested comprehensive financial records produced by accounting software. This wasn't a modest request. It was a comprehensive financial inquiry. Cardi also subpoenaed Tasha's husband, so it didn't end there. He was compelled by the subpoena to appear with all the documents related to their joint finances. The examination was supposed to be videotaped and included in the bankruptcy court file. Cardi intended to ensure that every dime associated with the family was accounted for, and she was not going to allow any room for justifications. According to Radar Online, Cardi filed additional paperwork after the inspection dates in order to keep the debt from being erased through bankruptcy. She contended that Tasha intentionally hurt people by failing to take down those untrue claims when she had the opportunity. A debt resulting from deliberate and malevolent acts cannot be erased under bankruptcy law. So Cardi's proposal thus made it quite clear that Tasha should not be permitted to abdicate her obligation. Reports suggest that Cardi didn't even care if she ever received the money. They claimed that she would be very content if Tasha ended up serving time in jail. This demonstrates the depth of the problem. Cardi wants more than just money. She wants accountability. Online users haven't expressed much empathy for Tasha. Many believe she caused this on her own. They essentially believe that if you speak carelessly and fabricate lies, you will eventually have to deal with the consequences. They also noted that Cardi offered her several opportunities to take down the videos and issue an apology even before the case ever began. But when pride takes precedence over common sense, there can be unpleasant repercussions. Tasha is currently in a difficult situation. She owes millions. She has unpaid taxes. She is under pressure from all sides. Bankruptcy did not save her. The appeal didn't save her. The jokes didn't make the situation any easier. While she may have believed she could persuade her out of it, reality is quickly catching up with her. She may face severe consequences unless she manages to obtain the funds or unless the court imposes an even stricter punishment. Her future now rests on the outcome of the upcoming judicial proceedings. The crucial question at hand is whether they believe Cardi is overdoing it or if Tasha is finally being held accountable for her own misdeeds. Tell me what you...